Hello, everyone, and welcome to NCRF TV's Elevate Your Game series. We are here to help you boost your knowledge, your network. We're bringing on industry experts. We're going to touch on some opportunities available. We're going to give out resources. We're going to give out information. And of course, we're going to give you guys the tools to help you guys grow. So, just a quick reminder, we are monitoring the comments on social media. So if you're watching on LinkedIn or YouTube, we'll see your comments and we will address them. So of course, interact. Let us know how you're feeling, any questions you guys have. And so today's topic is our brand new program, our Entrepreneurs Academy. And so our special guest today is Miss Laura Brown of LBE Consulting. And so to kick us off today, we're going to have our internship and careers manager, Mrs. Denise Parker.
Hi, everyone. I am super excited to be here. Welcome to Elevate Your Game, the Entrepreneurs Academy. So, we're going to learn about everything you need to know about becoming an entrepreneur, and I am excited. Our special guest is someone who is going to get us knowledgeable about the topic and also give us insight to your financial stake in your business. But before we really go deep, I'm gonna bring back Faith for some more announcements. Faith.
Okay, let me grab our. Alrighty, so getting into our announcements. So first, of course, follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Instagram. You can find us at National College Resources Foundation or NCR Foundation. Um, Follow us on there. We're going to show you all of our upcoming events that we have, all of the fun interactions we do with students, with our ambassadors, really just anything keeping up with us. We have a lot going on. So please follow us, keep up. And so next, we're going to go into one of the events that we have coming up is our free Black College Expo. We will be in San Diego. And if this is something you are interested in and you're not in San Diego, of course, if you're following us on social media, you will see the other 12, I believe, markets that we have our expo in. So in San Diego, we will be at the Bayview Baptist Church. Come out, see us, join us. I believe the scholarship deadline is January 16th. So if you are in high school and would like a little bit of shmoneys, go ahead, write that essay, submit it, turn it in, because free money is the best money. And we will see you guys on January 26th. Also, speaking on that, we will have a booth where you can come talk to us about the different programs we have for internship and careers.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, not or, and you can join us at our Booming Careers seminar. We will have two, one at 11:20 and one at 1:20. And we will have how to start a business, which is very similar, very similar to the presentation we're going to have today. So join us, interact with us, come have a good time. Also, the expo is from 10, I want to say, till 3. And then we have our after show, 3 to 5. So you have a good bit
Yes.
of time to come
So
interact.
I would real quick, sorry to interrupt, but you guys, if you want to engage with the colleges and the HBCUs and the institutions that are there representing for the expo, you have to show up between 10 and 2. That's when the admissions recruiting people are going to be there, and you bring your transcripts in, and there's some scholarships on the spot, acceptances on the spot. So please show up. And those who want to apply for our NCRF scholarship, you have to go to our website, and I want to make sure that I put that up there for you guys. I'll do that
Yes.
in just a second.
Expo.org. It is on the screen in our announcements, but we're going to put it again somewhere where you can see it a little bigger. Um, but go there, check out our Expo tab, and you will see how to apply. But do make sure you are specifically clicking on San Diego. So that way we know you are for our San Diego expo and not, Maryland or one of our other vast cities that we have it available.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Faith. What's next?
Next, we are going to take a little bit of time of silence to commemorate the people that we have lost in previous days. to suicide, people who have struggled with depression. We're going to take a couple minutes of silence for them, and then we're going to get into a conversation in regards to mental health and specifically Twitch.
Yes. So one of the things that we want to just to kind of just take the moment, and as we're all reflecting, this is a very serious subject, and I want to make sure I keep this picture up. That is affecting a lot of people's lives. It is not just the lives of our people who are known in the industry or out in the world in social media or whomever you may have heard of. You know, there's countless of people who we may be close to that we just don't know what's going on. And we're going to have a deeper conversation come January. We're inviting guests to actually speak about mental health, but because of this happened so recently and it's affecting us so much, we want to make sure that you guys are talking about it in a healthy way and getting help. So, Faith, how do you feel? What is your thoughts, real quick, on just the subject? Because it shocked us all.
Um, it's really shocking. One thing that I've seen on social media and people specifically speaking on mental health within Black men or the Black community in general is that you never really know what anyone's going through, which is true. It's very true. You should always be kind. You should always show grace, be patient with people because you never know what they're going through, what they're struggling with, how their life might be different than yours. You never know any of that, of course. So you want to be as good and genuine of a person you can be. But at the same time, for the people that you do know, when you do know that they're going through something, be that support. And if you can't be that support, give some resources so that they can find the support, or at least be a good person so you're not making it worse. Because for a lot of people, no, we never know what they're going through. We can never look at their lives and be like, oh, well, they must be so happy because they're living this way. But there are a lot of people that we do know, that we do see in our daily lives, that we do interact with, that we do have the chance to pay attention and notice either some of these signs or at least make it so that we are open so that they know that they have a space for that support. So
Yes.
while it is important to take note of being kind to people and showing grace because you don't know, also take
And I
note of what
think,
you do.
and one of the things we talked about earlier today is that you never know what people are going through, and we're so quick to help other people, but we're not quick to help the people who are closest to us. Why is that? So we just need to really take pause and reflect on everybody's going through something. Everybody is, and let's not count it off like, oh, you're going through, everybody's going through something, but check in, do a check in. Like, how are you doing? How are you really feeling? Do you need to let it out? How do you need to let it out? If you can't afford or get help that's professional, who can you turn to? Where can you go? Um, be that kind person that actually speaks up before it's too late. And there's so many people who are affected, and it's not about you personally. It's about, the overwhelming feeling that somebody may have that is overpowering their thoughts. So please, 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 hug each other a little harder, pay attention to each other a little better. And you have some extra resources, Faith. Please share that with us so that people can. Yes. So
Yes.
what is
So
it,
if
Faith?
you, okay, so the National Suicide Hotline, they recently shortened their number. It used to be this really long 1-800 number that they tried to get us to memorize in high school that they would put on cards and hand out. But we're not always going to go reaching for a card when we need help and when we need support. So they recently shortened their number to 988, making it really simple, similar to 911, but instead of one, you have eight. So if you or someone you know needs support, you can call or you can text this hotline. It is completely anonymous. You don't have to worry about anyone else. This is for you. This is your support. This is for the people around you and their support. So this hotline is available 24/7, 365. You don't have to think, oh, it's a holiday. Someone will be there to listen. There will always be someone to listen. And if you're just looking for resources for yourself, for someone else, you can always go to their website. They have plenty of resources for you to go, for you to check out. Share, of course, there's no need for gatekeeping in this. We need to share the resources, share the wealth, allow everyone to have their necessary support.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Faith. And Faith is also a psych major at the illustrious FAMU. So thank you so much for all your insight. Okay.
Of course, of course. And after that, we are going to lighten it up a little bit with our HBCU fun fact. So, our fun fact is brought to you guys by, of course, National College Resources Foundation and a little bit of research on my end. So, we're going to talk about Bowie State University. Bowie State is top, I want to say it is the third top HBCU for their business program. About 14% of Bowie's graduating students are business majors, and it is one of their most popular programs. And so they provide a Business Innovation Center, or the BIC, where students can have direct access to entrepreneurs and other mentors. So Bowie has literally a safe space for you guys to go, for you guys to ask all of your questions, um, no matter how simple you may think it is. There are no stupid questions. You can always ask. And they're making a space for you guys to go and ask these questions and meet these people and get these all new experiences and opportunities. But on top of that, Bowie also provides, um, Bowie also at their BIC Center, they have an Innovate Bowie event, which was created to celebrate the growing and dynamic city of Bowie's entrepreneurial ecosystem catalyzed by the Bowie BIC. Each year, we want to bring the spotlight of the state and national entrepreneurial ecosystem partners to the city of Bowie, both to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs and also to take a moment to highlight the success of existing entrepreneurs who have grown great businesses in the community. So, literally a whole event outside of just going into the center and seeing who's there that day, where you can meet other people, people within the city, people outside of the city. So Bowie definitely cultivates a culture for you guys to network and for you guys to meet people and get these experiences.
Thank you very much. Okay. So what's next? Moving on. So, we're going to welcome you to our Entrepreneurs Academy. And so, if you want to join for our special, presentation and be on the studio, be at the studio audience, be a part of our studio audience, then by all means, you can follow us on NCRF TV Network, which is our YouTube channel, of course, LinkedIn, of course, Facebook, and then, of course, our IG, just for any posting and upcoming things that we're doing, like Dr. Price's illustrious love words. But if you click that QR code in the right top hand corner, you can actually join our stream and be behind the scenes and be a part of this session and ask questions and interact with us about the subject. So again, my name is Mrs. Denise Parker, and you have met my beautiful and wonderful, right hand co-host, assistant. She does all things for me, Miss Faith Denby. And thank you so much, Faith, for joining us. And I will see you in just a second.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. So now on to it. Let's introduce our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest, our special guest. I'm removing this. I pushed the wrong button. Ooh. Here she is, the amazing Miss Laura Brown. She's our special guest. She's also the founder. Just introduce yourself. I don't want to speak too much about you. I want you to, pump your own self up. What you
Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Laura Brown, and I am the founder, CEO, tax business strategist for LBE Consulting. I'm also known as, like I said, the tax CEO. If you follow me, I'm all about business strategy, taxes, and accounting. So my goal is to educate the public, whether they become a client of my firm or not. It's all about educating.
Excellent. Excellent. And our subject here today is the Entrepreneurs Academy. And we just wanted to thank you for joining us. I'm going to start sharing my presentation, if you don't mind. And while I'm doing that, just tell us why you're joining us today. What is so important about that for you?
What is so important is that we get the information that is much needed out to the community, and especially those of us in our community of color. It's so important that we have the right information, that we can make the right decisions, because there is a lot of moving parts in business, and this is what will determine whether you have a thriving business or whether you're just merely existing and going out of existence.
Exactly, exactly. So before we even go deeper into the subject, I want to share with you guys, there's this wonderful presentation that I do at our seminars, at our Black College Expos and our College Expos, that is called Booming Careers. And then we also have a How to Start Your Business seminar. And those two seminars go hand in hand because one, having a career is one thing, but having a purpose and elevating it to the next level with your own personal business, everything you learned in working your 9 to 5 for the other person or the man, so to speak, and then applying it to starting your own business, whether you're doing it as a young entrepreneur or later in life when you're more seasoned and more mature in life and starting your business, then after you had some bumps in the road and you learned and you built your contacts, this is a perfect platform that we share. The seminar is totally packed. Laura, you joined us in Dallas, and it's a mix between not just young people who come to our expos, but it's also entrepreneurs who want to get deeper into, what it is to take to make a business. And it's a living and learning entrepreneurship journey. It's not just one, you get it, you've done it. As the economy grows, as it fluctuates, so does you and your business. As your life grows and fluctuates, so does you and your business. And if you don't know about being a business owner, it's a 24/7, 365 days a week. There is not a break. You can schedule those in, but you're still thinking about the overall life of your business and its survival. And I love being a business owner. I have my own private, consulting company, and I do this work on behalf of National College Resources Foundation, doing this work here as a consultant. And also I have a wellness fitness a studio that I also do business and help people in health and wellness. But it's not just about that. It's about learning and living a life that has more freedom. So as I share with you guys my screen, hold on, I'm getting into uncharted territory when I go places. So let me add this to the to the stream. And can you see it, Laura?
Yes, I can see it.
Very good. So I'm just going to start with just the simple things of just like becoming a business owner starts first and foremost, and we can go back and forth, of just having an idea. You're starting with a concept and turning it into a business, whether you're dreaming about that idea or it's something that you got legacy to you, like your family members had a business and they gave it to you. Now you want to take it to the next level. Or you're owning a franchise and you want to become that type of business owner, something that's already, mapped out, worked out, and you just have to just come in with the capital and just, acquire, the space and do your thing. There's so many different entities of what a business owner looks like, whether you're just selling candy out of your house or t-shirts out the, on the streets, or actually having a standalone business where people can walk in, or an online presence. I know for sure I buy more things on Instagram than anybody. I think I see these wonderful entrepreneurs marketing themselves, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. I want to try it. And sure enough, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty happy. So your idea comes from somewhere. What do you think about how ideas are formed when you talk to your clients?
I think that ideas are formed a lot of times 50-50 from passion, and then the other part of that they've seen other people do it, and hey, I can do it too.
Exactly. The key thing is not just having an idea, but also taking it to the next level and believing in yourself in that idea. I always tell our audience that not every idea is for everyone to hear, but someone is listening for that next big idea, and you need to protect your idea. You need to protect your intellectual property. Sometimes if you go to these coffee shops and you're chatting away, people are ear hustling. They're like, ooh, somebody, and they're typing with you and taking all your ideas. So be careful of what you say and what you do. But then also, as you're putting together your concepts of your idea, you want to be clear on your vision and know your customers. What does that mean to you when you're talking to your business owners, like knowing your customers, Laura?
I think for me, and I tell them, is you need to know exactly who you're servicing. Like everyone is not going to be your ideal customer or client. You need to know, are you servicing women? Are they between the ages of 18 to 25? Or are they 30 to 50? What demographics are they going to be residing in? If it's a specific item that you have where it's a brick and mortar, then you also need to know what salary range or what pay range are they in, because if it's something that you're selling that takes for someone to be established in their career, then someone who's 18 years cannot afford your product. So there's no use in advertising to them. Yeah, they can tell somebody about what they saw, but they're really not your typical client that you're going to advertise to because they can't purchase it.
Exactly. And that goes into the next prompt, like outline what you want to provide for your services and sell. Know your audience, know your customer. Like if you say you're a hairstylist and you do this, know what you do well and provide those services at a reasonable rate that's competitive. Don't be so high priced that you are outpriced to get customers. Be at a reasonable rate. Know who you are and what you do. Even if you're just testing the market, give some trials. Say, hey, you want to try my services out to see if it's, I'm good. I know I'm good. You always compliment me on my hair, my makeup, or, how I look, or, what I do. Then, give us some trials, give some freebies a little bit just so you can build your clientele. Those are some great ways to start, having confidence with your with what you believe yourself to be an entrepreneur. And then you learn how to partner with people who share your vision. Now, partnerships are very key. Yes. They're not just a partnership that you just, pick off the whim. You want to be careful who you call your partner. That partner has to be somebody you trust, somebody who understands the vision and the goals of the mission of the business. Are you sharing the same ideas? Are they going this way and you're going that way? Or you guys are collectively bringing, the yin and the yang to the business, which means like the balance. Like if one person's more about the strategies, the tax, the all the things, all the paperwork, and the other person's about the work and the customers, that is a yin and a yang. Somebody who's thinking about the business, you can worry about the customers, I'll worry about the paperwork, make sure everything's done. But know each other very well. Know what you guys are doing. A lot of people who have partners, they don't have partners very long when the business messes up. So, and it's a trial and error, right? In business, it's a trial and error. And the final prompt, it says, be passionate and patient about building your dream. It is a long journey. Sometimes some businesses work and sometimes they don't. And you just have to say, okay, on to the next. But failure, it doesn't mean that you failed. It just means you learned and you can learn to be better. So in all that, believing in yourself, what can you give our audience, Laura, to have a little bit more confidence in becoming a business owner and entrepreneur?
So before we go there, I do want to go back. I always tell my clients that when you're picking a partner, think about it as you're picking someone that you're going to marry. And this is a long-term relationship. Mm-hmm. So you definitely want to pick partnerships like marriages. Hopefully we're not marrying just any and everybody. Like right. You said, we have something in common. We have a common goal in this, and we're working together like the pencil and the eraser. Mm-hmm. Yes. And you've got to be passionate, because what I see too often is people start businesses for the wrong reason, and it's all about the money. So the passion is not there. When the passion is not there and the money doesn't come, you don't have patience. You're not building your dream. So even when no one shows up on, or no one clicks your likes on social media, or no, your phone isn't ringing, you just got to keep going and showing up, because like you said earlier, that next person will be there that is finding what you have. I looked at a post that my oldest son sent me today, and it reminded me of this young man in business. He only had 15 likes on his YouTube page. Oprah Winfrey saw it and she gave him a chance. So what I want to leave you with today is give it your all in everything that you have. There will be someone that will see you at some point in time.
Excellent. 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 All points. And hopefully you guys are picking up these nuggets we're sharing. So what is your business? What is the thing that you are saying to the world that you want to, them to buy, to support, to come, open up the door and say, how may I help you? Yes, I want to, what is that? The more you speak about your dream into existence, the better it will become. And even if you're still shaping it as a young person, or, as a newly, like you're just leaving your 9-to-5 job and you said, hey, it's time for me I've been working here for 20 plus years and now it's time for me to start a business. How many times have I had a conversation with people who are a little bit more seasoned in their careers, and I'm sitting across from a administrator, CFO, or you name it. I'm sitting across from people who are doing great things for working for somebody else, and they're like, this is not what I thought I signed up for. I really want to own my own business. Know what your why, and that why is going to drive everything about who you are, what you do. It's going to give you every day that wake up and go get them attitude, and fight for it. I mean, fight until it has to be, restructured or taken away, or moved to a different platform. That why is why we do, why America's so great. I believe that America's really built on the small business community. It's more so than corporate America. And corporate America started with just maybe one or two people tinkering in a garage. So those companies were small at one point. One of my favorite shows to watch, I don't know if you watch them, Laura, but on the History Channel, they do these How America Got Built shows, and they show like, how Rockefeller and Carnegie and Dunkin' Donuts was formed, and all these different brand names that you guys know of and heard of, that, you find out that they were just one person or two people or a brother or, a family just putting it together and then hoping, loving this concept, and then it turns into something bigger and better, and then somebody wants to buy it and then they want to hold on to it. So really, really, what is your business? Really write that down. The more you speak it out and dream it into existence, the better it will come. What do you think about that, Laura?
I think that's so absolutely correct, because when people used to say, why? What is your business? Why did you start your business? And I used to say, because I want to help people live their dreams. And at first I was like, maybe that sounds corny to people. But then I thought about it. No, it's not, because those are looking to start businesses. I'm helping them fulfill their dream. I am helping to educate them. I am helping them to navigate the financial systems, all these different things. And I'm really, truly helping them to do what they're passionate about, especially when I think about those in fitness. I think about those that are looking for different outlets, the doctors, the lawyers, all of these different people. This is something that they're very passionate about.
Excellent. Excellent. Everything, just be passionate about what you believe yourself to be doing. So here's some of the top entrepreneurship industries that you can think about. This is just some of them. These are just, off the tip of my head. Real estate, construction. Real estate and construction, it means not just about building and flipping homes, but also think about commercial real estate, owning lots of land or properties that house other businesses in them. That's the key to real ownership. entrepreneurship has a lot to do with land and having the land and owning the property around the land. And that is a business. And a lot of business owners do that. And, you'll never know where it can lead you. Of course, people in entertainment, they're called gig workers. A lot of those entertainers are working from job to job, and they're their own brand and entrepreneurship. You name it. They're from singers to actors to artists. They could do everything from, weddings to birthday parties, festivals, and even singing, like a Beyonce. Those are really entrepreneurs. And think about entrepreneurship as not just being famous, but something that you can think of as in entertainment entrepreneurship. You think of it as supporting and providing a service to people. Think about it like that. When you go to a wedding will be boring without a wedding singer, right? It'll be boring without, the entertainment if you went somewhere to a birthday party. So that entertainment is a key part of entrepreneurship. Then there's food. Food is not just being a chef or a culinary specialist, a private chef, a shopper, a private shopper, somebody who's in creating healthy cuisines to catering a large party. Food is also blogging about food, tasty treats that you see on social media. It makes me want to travel places because I'm watching social media mavens go crazy about what they're eating. I'm like, I want to be there. I want to go to that food truck. The food truck phenomenon is another way of having a entrepreneurship idea. Then let's move on to arts, beauty and crafts. So all these earrings and makeup and all that stuff you see on social media and all the things you buy in the stores, you're buying it for somebody who actually sit and made it by scratch from home sometimes. And those are some of the best products. They're healthier for your skin. They complement you. Nobody else has them. Not everybody else is wearing it. They're unique in their designs. I love going to boutiques and finding little tchotchke stuff that, fits my personality and my style. And you just never know where you travel to. You're supporting somebody's business. IoT, or what we call Internet of Things, and technology. Those are things that are dealing with all things technology, from building websites to handling businesses to, all the things you see with technology. It's all about the internet. It's all about, preserving that part of the T in STEM. It's not just, what we think of. It's also technology. So think outside the box when you think about technology. That is an entrepreneurship endeavor. Consultants, they go big on IoT because they can go to a bigger company and do a consulting role and be there, working in their technology department, helping to build their business up. So there's so many different ways you can look at IoT. And then skilled services. Okay, now this is key. Plumbers. I'm getting to know my plumber very well today. Fitness pros, web developers, doulas, hairstylists. Those are examples of skilled service people, and they make a lot of money because they make their own hours. They come in and charge their own rates. They have to stay highly competitive. Skilled service people, please, if you're thinking about having a business, get a skill. While you're in school and college, while you're working that 9 to 5, get a skill and then charge, have a little side hustle on the side. Hey, I do, construction work on the side, or hey, I paint, or hey, I support women's health. I'm a nutritionist. That is a skilled worker. That's somebody who's skilled. They studied, they showed us how to prove, they got their licenses, and they're equipped to do the job. What do you think about our entrepreneurship list?
I think this is some of the great ones. As you said, all of these are hot and booming industries right now, and they have a lot to offer. And then even hairstylists these days, they're teaching other hairstylists. So they are generating revenue like that. The beauty industry, they are doing classes. So there is so much that different people can do and can cross over. Technology is one that I do. So I do IT software implementation. So I'm with the IT side in technology. So it's always something that you can cross over. And I like to tell people, we always talk about 7 streams of revenue, but I don't think they quite understand. It doesn't mean that you have to set up 7 different companies. I'm doing accounting, I'm doing taxes, I'm doing software implementation, business consulting. So it's a list, it's streams of revenue that I'm bringing money in.
Excellent. Excellent. So these are just some of the suggestions of industries. Of course, you guys can add to the conversation anytime. So now that you've hearing all these different ideas and what it is, it's time to get inspired. Get to dreaming. Books, blogs, social media, walking in nature, listening to music. Get your creative juices flowing. Dream big dreams. If you see your company that you're just you, how do you want to get started? Just testing the market. Just dream about it. Learn from the greats. I love reading anything from people who have done it before me, done it better than I can ever even imagine, and listening to their words out loud, whether I'm listening to an audible or I'm reading it, I'm listening or watching their story unfold on television or on whatever social media. Get the inspiration you need to to figure it out. And you need to dream, because guess what? You're the only one who can believe in your business more than anybody else. When everybody else is telling you no, or that's not going to work, you have to figure out what it matters the most and how it can work. Even if it's not the biggest idea, maybe a small portion of that idea can work. So how do you feel about being inspired to continue on as a businesswoman, Laura?
I'm always inspired by seeing others who have, started from nothing and then they have made their way, or just being inspired by so many people who have overcome different obstacles of hearing different stories. And these are the things that really just keeps me going, because I always think about, if I can help that one person to become what it is that they want to do in their business, then hey, I've succeeded.
Excellent. 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 So now that we're getting to the nuts and bolts of just like the preparation, the dreaming, encouraging one another to be motivated to start the business. Now, here's the 1, 2, 3s in starting your business. And this is where, of course, Miss Laura Brown's going to shine, and she's just going to outshine me, because I'm just going to sit back and be like, okay, yeah, did I do that? Okay, let me figure it out. So the first step is knowing that you are the expert. When you say you're a business owner, you're saying you're knowledgeable about what you're selling. You're saying, that's it. I know it. I know what it is. I know how to do it. I know how to provide the service. I know what the product is about. You are educated in everything that you're presenting to the public. So if you open up a store and it has a whole bunch of products in it, my suggestion for you is to test and know each product and what it does before you put it on the shelf. If you're providing a service such as, fitness or hairstyling, or working on somebody's home, all about what the current industry trends, what is affordable, what is not, what your competitors are doing, what works, what doesn't work. You have to be educated. You say you are the expert in that. And even as a person who's like a tax specialist like that, you can't just say you're a tax specialist and you're not a tax specialist. You have to know the laws and rules of the land.
Yeah.
So how can you explain becoming an expert? What does that mean to you?
Just like you said, as an expert, you're going to breathe, eat, and sleep this thing. You're going to study at all chances that you can get. That doesn't just mean, studying the internet, because I tell people you can sit there and you can study the internet, but the internet is a free public place where people can put good information and bad information. So you're going to need to take some type of classes, even if they're at a community college, or some type of reading a book that really does, because the last thing, or government websites, because the last thing you want to do, what I see all the time, is people may start up a business and they didn't fully educate themselves. So say, for instance, you're making cakes and pies at home. There is a cottage law out there in most states that will protect people from making those types of things. But what they don't understand, that if you have things with dairy and milk, the cottage law does not necessarily protect you, because this is for making things that do not have those things. Otherwise, you have to be certified in safety serve and all these other things. So I've seen that happen, and they're shut down. So you really, really want to educate yourself.
Yes, you do. You can't just open up a food catering to people, large parties, and you don't have the right situation set up, and you can get somebody hurt or injured. So that's what goes up into our setting up the business. Not just by believing in yourself. You need to journal and write down what your strategies are, what your business model is, what your mission, what your goal is, and having a plan. Now, there's formal plans that you can put together, like really thick business plans, and you might have to take to a specific person to help you put it together, because that's your first quarter, your second quarter. I mean, these are all big words. Okay, God, I can't. Okay, because most businesses didn't start like that. They just started with let me just get started. But you can write out your own vision or your goals of your business that kind of lays out a plan on a small scale that grows up. So you want to come up with a business name, and a business name is pretty simple, but you also want to make sure and check your business name out to make sure nobody else has taken your business name. Right, Laura? Some people get just, what can happen? You have this great idea for a business name like Nike. Oh, oops. I think that's taken. It's a big take. And you don't want to take any name that has any it's not even nowhere near the name that you're thinking about. So if you want Nike, you don't want to say Nike. No, we said Nike. That's Nike. No. Stay away from names that sound similar, because it can get you in big trouble. And then also you want to set up your business entity. How would you explain business name, business entity, taxes, setting up your banking accounts, domains? How would you explain all that?
So what I would explain is this is the foundation of your business. And if the foundation does not start out right, then the house can't stand. So this, again, is things like you pointed out on your business name. You want to make sure you check, is it available? Don't use something that's close to someone else's where you'll be getting a cease and desist letter. You want to make sure that you have the proper business entity, because the last thing you want to do is you're giving out advice and you are a DBA and not an LLC, which is an entity that will provide you limited liability, but a DBA, it all rests on you. So taxes, you want to know, what is your tax implications? What are you responsible for? Because I get a lot of people, they live in a state and they don't necessarily pay a state tax. So they think, okay, I don't have to pay this tax, but there's a different business tax. There's a business franchise, use and sales tax. A lot of people are being audited for these different reasons that they didn't pay the use and sales tax. And there are companies that hire people like me out there every day to order stuff off the internet, to search people down. So you just want to be mindful of, making sure that you speak to the right person, or taking a class at the SBA or SCORE, somewhere like that, so they can help you navigate through these waters.
So while you were talking, I pulled up there's clickable links on my presentation, and I had to kind of share the screen to get to the clickable links. But like she said, the SBA.gov is a great, if you see to the left-hand corner, the SBA.gov is the U.S. Small Business Administration, a free website provided to give you the structure breakdown. It is what the nation kind of sets out the rules, gives you the information, advocates on behalf of business owners to provide information that is based on facts. So you can go in there and learn about the common business structures, sole proprietorship, what most people do when they don't want to set up a big company, or they just want to start off really little, or they just want to, just get started, so to speak. Can you explain the difference between maybe sole proprietorship and LLC for people, those who just want to get started? Talk to us first at the level of like, I know I'm going to start a business and I just want to just get started, not for a young person who's just, just doing it. Just, young people do stuff all the time. and they don't even realize they're an entrepreneur. They just like, would you want to buy some candy? That that is so simple, but they are actually doing a business. But talk about it for those people who are a little bit more mature in as far as their goals, and they really want to be a business owner. What's the difference between sole proprietor and LLC?
So your sole proprietor, only thing you're going to do is go to the courthouse, wherever you stay at. You're going to find a piece of paper, and it's a DBA. It lasts for 10 years to secure the name that you're going to call your business. LLC, you have to go a little bit more because it is state. So an LLC is recognized by the state. So I always want to point that out. A LLC is not recognized as an entity by the IRS. This is a state election only. So it takes more paperwork. You're going to file filing fees with the state. Some states do require you to do a fictitious name or a DBA filing. Some states do require that you file with the state, then file with your city. So it just depends. It's more paperwork and more fees.
Exactly. And then when it comes to your setting up your business, it's just about protection too. If you're working and you're doing food and stuff like that, you don't want stuff to fall directly to you, especially if somebody gets sick or hurt or something like that. Sometimes those business structures, those business entities do protect you from that and actually help you to have a little separation between your personal assets to actually the assets of your business or whatever is going on with your business. So it's kind of like a wall. You still have to protect yourself. You still have to talk about things, talk to a tax professional, talk to a business strategist professional who can actually help you to map out these concepts. They can't give you legal advice, but they can give you what unless you talk to a lawyer, you want to make sure that you set it up properly. And then it's going on to the business banking. Now, I always say separate your business from your personal. It's so much easier when you're dealing with your life. So many things intertwine in how we do business. We're getting lunch, and then all of a sudden you're using your business card to grab lunch, and then you're grabbing dinner, and then you're buying the groceries. Like, what happened? What did I do? Where did my money go? So you want to separate your accounts to make sure everything is right. And then finding a domain name, that is really key. Okay, so let's go on to location and marketing. Whether you are at an internet-based company or a brick and mortar, your location and how you market is key to who can see your business and getting you off to a great start. So for me, I am in a location, a brick and mortar, which means brick and mortar, for those who don't know, is where you walk into a building and you stand in the building and you're like, hey, how you doing? With that comes rent, with that comes lights, with that comes electricity, lights, which the same thing, water, and also maybe parking you have to pay for. All those different things you have to consider. So understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. Or you might want to be an internet-based business. Those are really cool things. You could save so much money in marketing when you're using free services like Instagram. Hello. Yes. Instagram is free. You can do a whole lot of stuff with Instagram without having to pay little to nothing. I'm pretty sure when you get to a certain level, they oh wow, stay on Instagram, keep providing. They're starting to give you money to do it. But really know all your options before you get started. What do you suggest about that? Should somebody start a business and just open it up without knowing all the pros and cons?
I don't think so. I think that you really need to evaluate your situation, like you're saying. When you have a brick and mortar, you got to think about it does take way more money to start up. If you're needing to have an office space, you've got to think about how long are you required to sign a contract nowadays, because that real estate market is unsure. It used to be you could sign a 1 or 2 year lease. Now you have people wanting you to commit for 5 years. So think about that. You're signing for 5 years, and they're going to want a certain amount of money up front. And then do you have to pay your lights? Do you have to have your own telephone? So those are things you want to think about. Like you said, you could be internet based. Now, the cool thing about it is I'm a brick and mortar, but I'm also internet based because I'm able to work with people all around all the 50 states and outside of the country. So you may be that type of business where you're going to start off on the internet and then expand to a brick and mortar.
Excellent. Excellent. And we're just going to go over some quick things to consider using a business setup. Now, you can always use a professional, which I always suggest, because even when you do it on your own, you still have some questions if you did it right. And it's good learning lessons to do your own. There's so many great websites to actually utilize their services, and they have great customer service. There's InkFile or LegalZoom. Those are paid. You got to pay for those services, though. Know that that's money. You got to spend money to make money. So setting up your business can be tricky. So besides using a tax professional, you want to consider business services that are knowledgeable about what you need to do to get started. But be careful. Do not buy what you don't need. They will be constantly selling you things. Like, hey, what about this? What about that? And if you're not sure, call somebody who knows, like a professional, or make sure you have somebody. It's okay to set it up on your own, but just know how to do it right so you save your money. Okay, save your money. And then there's also things like brick and mortars and having an office. And then there's things called a digital office. Those are things you just need to be aware of. Look them up, read about it, type in digital address, digital office, what it provides for you. See if it's something that is necessary, because businesses don't use P.O. boxes for their permanent addresses. They have to have some type of building. And you want to protect yourself and protect your home. You don't want to have people coming into your home unless you're doing a home-based business. You want to make sure that there's a separation in that. So learn about these things. If you can't have a brick and mortar, you want to protect yourself. And then creating a site. It's not for everybody to create websites. You like creating a website. It might just be on IG that you're doing your business. That's still a website. But you might want to think about creating a website, and that's where your domain name is very key. That's what when you type in www.xyz.com, xyz.com is the domain name. So be careful how you pick your name for your business. Is it associated with your domain? Because you don't want to make, apples and oranges. You want something that kind of ties together so people can find you. And then also creating your website or creating your LinkedIn profile or your business IG account or your Facebook business account, whatever you're going to do on social media, make sure it lines up properly so people can find you. Any suggestions for this? Because we're about to tie it up.
Yes, I would absolutely say if you're going to get a digital address, which is also known as a virtual address, check out the company. See where that address is really tying you back to. Because the last thing you want to do if you're applying for business credit or you're trying to get government contracts or you're trying to work with people or companies and they want to just type in your address and see who you are. You don't want Office Depot showing up or Staples and then they're like, okay, because in these days and times there's so many fraudulent things going on till people just are being very cautious. And again, like she said, you may not create a site, but at least get you a domain so you can have a professional email, because there will be times that you may email a professional person in business, and depending on what businesses it is, they may have a spam blocker, so you'll never get them.
Key. And also keep, on the side, just in case those spam blockers come, I always keep a Gmail just in my back pocket, just in case. Just in case. But yes, those professional emails are very important. Okay, we got our big concepts. We got the understanding of how to structure it. Before we close out, because this is just the beginning of the academy, all these concepts they're huge. And we're going to break them down every month. We're going to visit once a month and talk about one or more of these subjects. Today, we're just kind of doing an overview. So there's going to be many no's before there are yeses. And I want you to believe in yourself. And the final thoughts that you can leave with your to our audience before we go on to our announcements and close out our show?
The final thoughts is live your dream, get educated, and make sure that you continue to keep pushing. You can do this. There's so many resources out there, and there's not a reason that you cannot excel in this industry or any industry that you're wanting to be an entrepreneur or a family-oriented business with your family.
Excellent. Excellent. And before we close out, we have a guest in the audience. They joined, and I want to make sure that they get their question answered, and then we'll make our final announcements. And of course, Laura, you can be found on your website. I'm going to put it up for everybody to see. It's lbeconsulting.com. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
And then you can also be reached at lbrown@lbeconsulting.com. Is that the best? Where are you located at, by the way?
So I am located in the Dallas, Texas area.
Okay, so know the time zone, people. Don't just be calling to be calling or emailing to be emailing. I'm just saying. So if she does work with you on anything, be conscious of her time. Her time is very valuable. She's a wonderful add-in. I met her just attending one of our events and speaking there at one of my seminars in Dallas, and it was amazing. It was kindred spirits. So so my speed down now. I love her. So let me add this guest to the stream to make sure that they get their question answered. And if there's any questions in the chat, we are monitoring it. Hello, special guest. Do you have a question? I want to know if you're still there. They probably went away from the computer, so I'm going to give them a second. I'll bring you back while we make our announcements. Okay, I don't want to speak too soon. I couldn't see their face. Okay. Well, let's go on to our special announcement. Our internships and career opportunities. Again, we also have tons of things on our website. And if you go to our website, I'll put it up in just a second, but let me make these announcements. They're all on our website. I'll put it up before at the end of our session. The Television Academy Foundation, they also support, they're the supporters, and actually they're the entity of the Television Academy, which produces the Emmys and other related shows. And their foundation has internships that are paid. Location varies. They're both in-person and virtual in production, news, design, writing, PR, and more. Their fall opportunities are open in April. You definitely want to apply for their summer opportunities that are handling. I mean, we're taking applications now. They are taking applications now, January 19th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's what, 4 weeks away. It's like December is almost gone. Christmas is next week, you guys. Kwanzaa is next week. Hanukkah is, throughout the month. So you better pay attention to the timelines because it's all coming. There's a lot of competition for this particular internship. But guess what? I know the recruiters. So please, if you do apply, let me know what you applied for so I can inform the recruiters to, maybe set your resume aside or your application aside to take a special look at it. So please, please, please. And follow the qualifying prompts on the internship. It's very detailed. There's some writing prompts that are pretty complex. And if you don't understand how to do it, you can definitely email me to ask a question, and I will ask the recruiter about what it is that they're explaining. We are waiting their edited version of their informational session that was about 2 weeks ago that we joined and listened in on. They recorded it, but they still hadn't released the edited version. So once it gets released, I will post it on our Elevate Your Game series, hopefully over the holidays. Okay, on to the next one. If you are interested in working in business in aviation, not just becoming an aviator or a person who you see working on the front end of the airplane, but what about the people working behind the scene, the business roles, engineering roles? There's multiple opportunities for students and graduates. There's a business leadership program that is amazing. There's so much full-time paid. Location varies. Most of them are coming out of the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, but keep in mind, American Airlines is a major player in the aviation industry. It's also one of our huge partners for National College Resources Foundation. Scan that QR code to apply. Check out those deadline dates, please. Comerica Bank, another partner of ours, they have paid internships throughout Texas and Michigan, summer internship programs, technology, HR, finance, so much more. You can also apply for Texas and Michigan are some of the major areas. A 3.0 grade point average or higher. Please, please, please follow the prompts. If you have any questions, anything I'm posting up here, I do know the people who work for these particular companies. And we have this wonderful opportunity with a company that is known as Radio Facts. It's an online media company that specializes in entertainment, Black entertainment and culture, specifically around the music and entertainment industry. They're looking for social media manager job. Somebody who knows how to work the social medias of our time, from the TikToks to the LinkedIns to the IGs to the Facebooks, and building up their social media presence. If you are interested, you can scan that QR code for their website to check out their website, and you can email kevin.ross@radiofacts.com to apply. They're going to want to see examples of your social media. So make sure your social media is on and popping. Make sure it's, you got your followers, it's clean, it's presentable at the same time, it's tasteful. You want to make sure that it has some flavor to it. So anything in entertainment, you want to be eye-catching and eye-popping in social media. This is a paid internship starting at $18 per hour. And it's virtual too, so you don't have to be in person for this one. Okay, you also want to follow us on YouTube at NCRF TV Network, Facebook, National College Resources Foundation, LinkedIn and National College Resources Foundation, and Instagram. You want to like us and follow us there, because that's how you get information on all our postings. We try to keep everything fresh and light. And of course, just knowing us on our website is cool. Here's our website. I want to make sure you see it. Go to thecollegeexpo.org to click on events or programs to find out who we are, what we do. And that is pretty much it. This was our show. How did you feel about our show today?
I was so excited, and I want to say thank you so much, Denise, for having me. It has been an awesome pleasure, and I look forward to doing it again. I just love this type of information that you're giving out, and you're being so helpful. I loved it when you were here in Dallas, so I can't wait to join you all again.
Yay! And that's the key goal. We've been traveling all over this great nation. 15 cities. I say 15 cities because it keeps getting added on. I get a call like, we're going to this place. Okay, let's go. And I do this presentation all the time, but every time I do it, the guests that come on to How to Start Your Business are amazing, and you're one of our amazing ambassadors. Oh yes,
thank you.
Coming on, sharing the information, and advocating for our young people and our audiences out there. So my last thought to you guys is thank you so much for joining us. Once again, my name is Mrs. Denise Parker. I'm the Managing Director for Internships and Careers for the National College Resources Foundation, and I'm here to serve you. This is Elevate Your Game, and happy holidays, you guys. Be safe. We're not going to have a live posting next week. There might just be a pre-recording. So please, please, please keep that in mind. And I'll see you guys in the new year. We are going to be talking about mental health a lot next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.